I went to see the movie Snow White Wednesday night, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. I do not ever remember seeing the cartoon Snow White, but of course, I mean, I basically know what it's about. It was a pretty simple plot. From what I can tell, um, this movie kind of like followed the story, like the old story, pretty well. Um, there was nothing edgy about this movie. There was nothing intense about it. It was an old fashioned fairy tale, and it was a musical. So I do not understand why there is controversy about this about this movie. There's nothing about it that people should be complaining about this much. And it's being called a flop. So I looked it up. Um, let's see, last week it was number one in the box office, and the week before that, when it came out, it was number one in the box office. I read an article about Snow White being a flop, and the article said that this movie didn't do as well as other live action Disney movies have done. And then they talked about the Avengers. I believe Avengers is like the top grossing movie ever. So I don't know, like, really, what's a flop? Because I, it's very confusing. Like, I do not understand why people are complaining about this movie. It's bizarre, and I really think that they're just lying about it as well. And so you know that people are really big time liars when they lie about things that don't even need to be lied about. Like, why are you lying about Snow White? This is outrageous. We live in like really outrageous times. I think the lady who played Snow White, I think she did a nice job. Um, this girl is very, very young. She's in her early 20s. She's only been in, I think, like six movies. I've seen Snow White. I saw West Side Story. I also saw The Hunger Games. And she was in something called Shazam, which I didn't see. But everything I've seen her in, she's been solid. And I think that they're probably just trying to poo poo this girl's career pretty early on because she is woke. She's woke because she is like pro Palestine, which I don't care about. Gal Gadot is also in it, and she played the evil queen, the evil stepmother. She also did a good job. She is Jewish. She is from Israel. She served in the IDF. Fine. Like, I don't care about any of that. I don't know why I need to know any of that. Um, I did not look into any of that. It's just the press and the social media chatter about that movie put that information out there. Um, let's see. There was also some controversy about the quote dwarfs, little people, however you want to term it. They were CGI. Um, there was some controversy because some people were complaining that that was a job opportunity that should have been given to, little people. But I mean, I do understand the challenge because it's not only one person, one small person, they needed seven. And then, I mean, there need to be like stunts and stuff like that. And I don't know. I mean, I get it. I mean, I think it probably would have been nice to have actual actors in it for some weird reason. Okay, you know that TV show Little Women. I think it would have been fun to have them in there, but I also understand how then the plot wouldn't work because they were minors. Like, women don't really do that kind of work, and it would have totally changed the dynamic if it was Snow White and seven female little people. Like, it would have changed everything. So I mean, I do see the challenge in trying to find like seven little people. I mean, they did it in Wizard of Oz, but I don't know, like Hollywood was a lot different back then, and that movie was a mess. Like Wizard of Oz, like if you ever listen to some YouTube channels talking about like old movies and stuff, like old Hollywood was very messy, which is why I don't understand why people, when they hear about these scandals in the entertainment industry now, they're all like, oh, it's always been a mess. But anyway, yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was lighthearted, enjoyable, wasn't really intense. Um, I enjoyed it. So I don't know why people are complaining about it so much. And they're saying that it's a flop, but it's been number one in the box office 2 weeks in a row. Um, Now, granted, these other movies that are like in the top five, most of them I never heard of. The only one that I heard of before was called The Last Supper. And I mean, that is a movie about the Last Supper, and Easter is approaching. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think that that's probably why that is getting some attention now. And I've really only heard of that because I know a lot of church people. So, yeah, so maybe it's kind of the easy layup. There's not a lot of competition right now, but nonetheless, a win's a win. That movie is winning. Um, Maybe not right away, but eventually I'm going to try and add a card for this one video that I saw. And the video was from CBN, and it was Kirk Cameron complaining about Snow White. And he just like complained, never gave a real reason for why he felt like that movie was a problem. He just complained about Disney in general, and he just talked about how, you know, it wasn't wholesome for children. But I did not see anything objectionable in the movie. And then he promoted his own entertainment company for, you know, family friendly films. So there's that. But hey, I don't know, make up your own mind. And just an FYI here, I am not a Disney adult. I'm not a person who's real big into Disney. I like musicals, but I'm not, you know, a Disney adult. I'm not really even a Disney child. So, you know, there's not any like Disney fan bias there. Um, I just think that so-called conservatives want to try and kind of undermine Disney so they can go in turn go and promote their own media companies and entertainment companies. And there were a lot of black people in this movie, kind of. Black people were not any of the main characters. I mean, it was a fairly small cast, but there were a lot of black extras and biracial extras and Asian extras. Um, let's see, I think the biggest part a black person had was the huntsman. So the huntsman was black, and maybe that's what's got all these people upset. I don't really know. But anyway, I just think it's ridiculous. And I don't think that this movie deserves to get ragged on the way it's being ragged on. It really makes no sense. I do not understand it. And yes, I saw it at the theater. Choose whatever for yourself. Bye.